Hey, so if we're hanging out together right now, it's because you probably got yourself a kidney stone, and I am very sorry for what you're going through right now. I can relate for sure. Basically, before I start, I'm gonna just say this really quickly. A lot of videos that I saw talked about pain and it's sucking and this and that, so it kind of made me more fearful of the procedure than more of at ease, or just kind of let me know what to expect with this experience, right? So with that being said, let's dig in. Let's jump in right now. 6 months ago, I had a small little pain. Came out of nowhere, just on my right side, just there, small. I thought maybe I slept wrong. I bumped into something. I felt like an internal little bruise, and I just left it at that. Thought that it would go away on its own, like a bruise. 2 months went by, nothing changed. It stayed the same. I went to go see my doctor, and I told him about the pain because it's like a numbness. I felt like a numbness on my side, and he checked my liver. So he did an ultrasound, checked my liver, and while he was there, checked the kidney as well. So did find out that the liver had I have a little bit of a fatty liver, and he did see that I had two little tiny, like 1 millimeter stones in my kidney. And he said that I should not worry about the stones, that I should just drink plenty of water and I should pass them soon, and that should be the end of that. As far as the liver's concerned, diet, exercise, and we'll circle back around in 3 months and see where you're at with the liver. Okay, great. So 2 months have gone by, 3, 4. I'm at the 5 month mark now. 3 months have gone by. I'm almost needing to see my doctor for this next follow-up appointment. And still have the same pain. Lost some weight, but still have the same pain. So I'm like, okay, when I see my doctor again, he'll let me know what's going on with the liver, and then I don't know, maybe at this point I'll need actual medication. I didn't even make it to that appointment. Before that appointment, maybe a week prior to that appointment, I went to go babysit my nieces because I'm an awesome brother, so I let my sister and my brother-in-law go out in the town and have a good time and relax, and I hung out with the kids and, let them breathe a little, right? Because I'm just cool like that. Hung out with the kids, watched movies, we had a blast, blah, blah, blah. Brother-in-law, sister came home, I went home, I'm hanging out, chilling on the couch, watching TV, and then I start feeling that pain, start to really feel like pain, but it's still in the front right side under my rib cage. And I start feeling my whole torso turning into like wood. Like it's all like turning solid. My muscles are contracting and it's just like very weird. So I went and took a pain pill. And thought, okay, maybe at least this will let me chill out for a bit and then I'll be able to sleep. And as soon as I was waiting for the pill to take effect, all of a sudden, boom, I feel the pain. I feel that pain in my lower back. For anybody who's had a kidney stone before, which I did, a 5 millimeter stone a year prior, so I know what that pain is like, that sharp stabbing pain. And once I felt it, I was like, oh no, liver and kidney now. So like I knew that was a kidney thing. So the next day, I went straight to the emergency room. Went to the emergency room 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 hours later, right? I'm finally seen. I get the CT scan done. And and I get the CT scan done, and then they pump me with some medicine and through my IV, and then I'm just sitting in a room. I'm sitting in the emergency room, just there. The hospital is so packed that I can't even be admitted into a normal room. They had to keep me in a room in the emergency room due to space. So I'm just there. A few hours go by, and this little lady pops out of nowhere. Hi, I'm Jennifer. I'm your surgeon. I'm going to take this 14 millimeter stone out, but before we're able to do that, I have to put a stent inside of you, so that's going to be done tomorrow morning. Okay, get some rest. Goodbye. And she disappeared. So I'm like, okay, process time, right? Put a stent in. What the hell is that? Okay, whatever. I'm so pumping drugs right now that I'm just like, I can sleep. So I did that. Woke up the next morning. Boom. Doctor pops out of nowhere. Hi, I'm here. We're ready for the surgery. You ready for the surgery? Okay, great. We'll go in the surgery. I see the doctor's eyes. I knock out. I wake up. There she is again. And then it's like, okay, done deal. They finally admit me into a normal room. And I'm in the room there. And the first thing, once the anesthesia starts to kind of fade away, and you can, you kind of like, you know where you're at. One of the first things you're going to feel once you get that stent put in, because the stent now goes from the bladder all the way up to the kidney, and that's just meant to be able to let you pass the urine and not let urine get stuck there and have an infection, and be able to bypass the stone, because my stone was right in the uterus. It somehow pushed itself down, and that's why I needed to have that stent put in. Once you get the stent put in and you're in your room recovering, the one thing you're going to want to do right away is go to the bathroom. You're going to want to go to the bathroom. TMI from this point on. So when you go to the bathroom, blood. You're going to pee blood. It's going to come out. And don't be scared. Don't be alarmed. You're kind of so still numb that you're not going to have like mad like pain, like a UTI type of deal, or burning sensation. It's just gonna come out like blah. And then when it does that, you're gonna look down, you're like, oh my god. And then the doctor is not gonna send you home until it starts to clear up a little bit. So in order for it to clear up, you just have to start taking liquids. Just drink liquids, go to the bathroom. Drink liquids, go to the bathroom. Now, it's not like before when you would drink so many liquids that eventually after a certain amount of time your body's like, we need to go to the bathroom, right? And then you go to the bathroom. With the stent put in, this is what you have to just kind of keep an eye out for, and just remember is no matter how much liquid you take, it could be a little bit of water, it could be a bottle of water, it could be whatever. When you get up, you have to go to the bathroom. There's no like, oh, I'm going to go get a snack and then go to the restroom like before, or like go to the kitchen type of deal, right? Like, oh, I'm going to do this real quick and then go to the bathroom because I can hold it. Now it's you get up straight to the bathroom. So remember that. Start keeping that in mind, because that's something that you're gonna deal with throughout the entire procedure or journey of this thing. Get the demon out of your body, right? So when you're home, after your urine clears up at the hospital and you get discharged and you get home, you're going to have to go get your medications unless you get hooked up and they can give them to you there at the hospital. But during that entire time, you're going to have to still go to the bathroom. Just moving, being in a car, gravity itself, it just comes out. It just comes out. So you're going to want to take home with you one of those urinals that they give you at the hospital. Because while you're recovering in the hospital, you're not going to have time to get up and go to the bathroom every single time. So you're going to have a urinal there with you anyways. Okay, so now you're home, right? You're home, you have your first stent put in. This is what it feels like to have that stent put in your body. It doesn't feel annoying like, I don't know, like somebody's trying to stick their finger in your ear and you're like, so annoying. It's more like, how do I explain it? Like a hand on your face with a little bit of pressure, and it's just there. It doesn't hurt, but it's there and it's annoying. I know my analogy is kind of like, but whatever. I hope you get the point. Because the stent is flexible. So when you move around, you don't feel like any resistance from it or it wanting to bend a different way because of the way that it's put in. It moves with you. So it doesn't hurt. It didn't, at least for me, it didn't hurt me like, it just felt annoying. And I could lay on that side sometimes, and then I would move over to the other side. And laying flat was kind of more annoying, painful for me, like in my bed. And being in a sitting position kind of helped because it would kind of, I don't know, pinch everything in the middle there so you didn't have to go to the bathroom so often. But sitting in that position just it's just uncomfortable because of the way the stent is. So you kind of want to be in a not in a sitting position, you know, your back and your leg, your leg. You want to be more in an arch, like you're it's like a banana type of shape. So what I did was I bought myself one of those 5-foot bean bags, and worked perfect. Kept me in a perfect position, super comfortable. I'm not trying to sell these things, but I'm just saying it helped. It was the perfect medium between both extremes. I was very comfortable, and I was able to just cope with the pain and the whole situation. Anyways, take your medications. Very important. As soon as you leave the hospital, take your medication, because once those shots that they give you through your IV and all the pain pills that they give you there start to go away, then you're going to feel a little bit different. So to kind of skip that part, just take a pain pill as soon as you get your prescription. Just pop one. Even if you still feel, you know, okay from the hospital, just pop one, and trust me on that. Now, those 14 days, 14 days that you're resting and having that initial stent put in, so you can get the inflammation down, so they can finally go in there with the microscope, with the camera and everything, and do their job for the lithotripsy procedure. They have to get the inflammation down. That's what that initial stent is for, right? Okay, now it's time for me to go to the actual surgery. So I get there, I see Jennifer again. Hi Jennifer, it's been a while. How are you feeling? I feel okay. Do you have pain here? And she touched me right where I was having pain. It was like she knew. And she said, okay, we're gonna get rid of that today. Got sent in, put me out, and then I woke up. There she was again. Hi Jennifer, Tommy, everything was great. You still had a little bit of inflammation, so unfortunately we had to put another stent in. But the stone has been taken out. We eradicated the whole thing. It went well. My stone was so hard that they have, like, I think 3 type of series of lasers depending on the hardness or what it's made of or whatnot. And this hospital had gotten a 4th, like, new version of all 3, like, big mamma jamma. They've never had an excuse to be able to use it. And with my stone, they had used the 3rd version, which is the strongest, and it was having difficulty breaking my stone. So they used that new experimental one, or whatever it is, the new generation version one, and it did the job. So she told me that they were all excited because they got to finally use it. So that was cool. And she said, so we put that other stent in, and but we're not going to put you under next time. Next time, just come into my office and I'll pull it out there. I wasn't dry. I was just woke. I was like, okay, great, doctor, awesome, super cool. Again, after that procedure, same thing. You're going to want to go to the bathroom right away. You don't have pain. It's not like, oh, my private parts hurt, because remember, they go in through the pee hole, and through the pee hole, into the bladder, all the way up the ureter, into the kidney, and there they are. So now, what you feel is relieved. You feel relieved because, remember, the initial stent, you had the stent plus the stone in there. Now you don't have the stone, but you just have a stent. That stent, same feeling as what I described before. Not more painful, not same, you pee blood, same deal. Stay on top of your medications. You're going to be fine. There's 2 versions of stents that they put in after that lithotripsy surgery. One version is the one that they gave me, which is, to make sure that the inflammation goes down and I'm able to just recover better from it. The other version of stent that they put in has a string that comes out. That one is just there to kind of just flush things out. They have it there for a few days, and then you go to the doctor, and then they just pull the string and they pull it out. The version I have, they have to take it out the same way that they took out the prior stent. So they have to go in there. I never processed this in the beginning. When she told me, oh, we'll take the other stent out in my office. I never thought about it until like the day of the actual procedure when I had to go. Because again, since then, till that point, I was just still recovering. You still can't get up and go about your day and do things because with the stent, the surgery, all that stuff, gravity itself, no matter what liquids you drink, you have to either take a bathroom with you or be by a bathroom at all times while you're going through this experience. That's the most annoying part of all of it. Now, okay, so they tell me about the second stent needed to be taken out, and I'm processing all this, and I'm being taken to the doctor's office, and I'm just thinking, oh my God, I'm not going to be put under. So I start watching videos in the car on the way over there of like how this is going to work, and don't do that. Don't do that anymore. Nobody do that. Just do the procedure. Be surprised. It's better that way. I get there. And the most beautiful nurse in the world comes out and says my name. And I'm just like, okay, great. I go in the room. She says, all right, hi, my name is blah, 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 blah. We're going to be doing this. We're going to be doing that. So what I need you to do is take your pants off and this and that and wrap this towel around you and lay down and lay back. Okay. So, I did it. Now, it was more of a shy thing, okay? You know, it was more of a shy thing, but be secure yourself, you know, and just, it's a hospital, it's a doctor, it's a medical procedure. Don't think dumb things and just go and do what you got to do and get this over with. With that being said, so what happens now is the nurse comes, grabs me, squeezes right there, and she has this tube with the plastic tip and it's full of a gel inside, and she'll shoot it in there, and it's a numbing cream to numb it. And when they numb it, they clamp it with that same clamp that your mom uses to clamp the bread and put it back in the fridge. That clamp, yeah. So they clamp it so the gel stays in there. It's just hilarious. And then after that, 15 minutes go by and it's time to get it done. So while I'm sitting there waiting for 15 minutes, just processing this whole thing, because I never felt any of this. I never had to think about any of this because I would get put under. So I was knocked out. I would just wake up and they were like, yay, you did great. And I was like, yay, good for me. But this time it's like I'm watching it, you know, live and direct. So doctor comes in, pops her head in through the door, and she goes, are you ready for this? Are you ready for the procedure? We're gonna get this done. And I'm just like, oh, please, for the love of God, let's just get this demon out of me. I'm over this already. She giggles and disappears. Now here comes Miss America nurse again with all the equipment, and I see everything. Just don't look at the equipment. If you start playing things in your mind like I do, don't look at the equipment. Just pick a spot on the ceiling and call that home and just listen and do what you're told. Now the numbing cream is done. They take the clamp out. And doctor looks at me and says, here we go. And she starts doing what she's doing. I'm just breathing. Just try to relax. Just try to breathe. Once it's in there, because it has to go through all of that to get into the bladder, so they're able to grab the stent and pull it out. So you just have to breathe, and you're gonna most likely have a feeling of having to pee the entire time. It's not gonna happen. You're just gonna have that feeling. Once the camera is in there with the clamp, it shoots water as well. So what it does is it goes into the bladder and it shoots the water in there, and you feel your bladder just like a balloon, and it just gets open. That way they're able to get in there and have more space to find the stent and pull it out. The doctor touched the inside of my bladder. That felt like, whoo, it felt like an electrical shock. It was so weird. It was like, whoa, like my hair stood up. But don't freak out. Once that happened, she found the stent. Ready, 1, 2. By the time she got to 3, she pulled it out. It was over with. The relief, the way that it felt coming out of my body, it was like, oh my God. And then boom, it was out. I felt so much better. I felt like I could just like I was free. Like it was a good feeling, I have to admit. Yeah, it was a little irritation in the ureter part and the whole thing up there, and you just gotta take your meds. Just take your meds, keep up with the meds, and just relax, drink a lot of water, and just go to the bathroom and go to the bathroom. Once that stent is taken out, after like 2-3 days, you're gonna start feeling those old sensations that you've always felt in your life about needing to go to the bathroom, or your bladder's full, you drank a lot of water, because with that stent, it just kind of bypasses all of that. So now you're gonna start getting used to your muscles and stuff just contracting again, and your stream being like it used to be, or whatever. So basically that's how you're gonna deal with this whole thing. Stay on top of your meds, and good luck, and just take care, and then, you know, eventually you'll find out what it's made of, and all that. But that was my experience with the laser lithotripsy ureteroscopy procedure. It's not that bad. It sucks, but it's not that bad. So don't freak out. Just go with the flow. Try and get your affairs in order for the next month while you go through all of this. And other than that, you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. And then it's going to make sure that it reminds you that you never want to do this again in your life. So eat healthy, drink your water, do whatever you got to do to prevent this. And I hope this helped. And it helped alleviate some of the worry and some of the oh my God, what's about to happen type of deal. Because that's what I saw in a lot of other videos, and I didn't like that. So hope this helped, and take care. Bye.